Wrestling Entertainment, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Bob Malden. I'm joined by the grappler Lynn Denton. How you doing, sir?
Hey, Bob. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. SWE, brother. I've heard about it all over the country. They're talking about it. It's go for the gold. Everybody and somebody is going to be here tonight after a championship belt.
That's right. The championship on the line for the very first time. We're going to see someone walk out of this building with the Southwest Wrestling Entertainment title around their waist. Tim Storm and Rodney Mack competing tonight in our main event for that. And I know you've been in a lot of main events yourself and worn the gold a few times. Tell me about what is it like to be going for the gold?
I'll tell you what, you know that your opponent stepping across from you is wanting just as much as you do to put that belt around his waist. They can pay you all kinds of money. They can give you presents. They can give you new cars. But you know what? It means more to a wrestler, more than anything to say, I'm stepping out of here and I'm the heavyweight champion.
Someone is leaving this building tonight as champion. But right now, let's get to the ring for some wrestling action. It's been a long time since this crowd in Canton, Texas has seen live professional wrestling action, and you can tell by the way they've shown up here tonight as the competitors lock up in the ring.
You see right there, they're doing a little wrestling like old school wrestling. They take the guy down, go behind him, got an arm bar. You don't see that a lot of times in wrestling now, but look at here tonight. I told you these guys were something else.
We're going to see wrestling in this ring tonight. I have a good feeling about that now. We see these guys, they got started off. The armbar might have been a little much for old Nate there.
I think so. He had to let it go. They're hooking back up now, though. You never know what's going to happen. These boys got all the moves.
I love that good old test of strength. You know, I used to hear it referred to as a referee's stance was one of the ways. The collar and elbow tie-up, though, right?
Elbow, lock up, and the referees, like you're saying, the referee stance, a lot of them call it that.
Right.
But elbow to collar, and brother, I'll tell you, some guys can take you to the knees doing that.
Really? All right. Well, it's one of those things that we're going to see a lot of tonight. Just wrestlers really just that probably not.
Well, that wasn't really wrestling, but that does sting you.
It will light you up a little bit as wow, look at him go to the Chandler. This guy might have some wind on his side as a count of 2 and not quite 3. Look over, he rolls over in the ropes though, a little too close to the ropes on that one. Headlock takedown, going for a pin. Nope, leg scissors.
You tell me these guys hadn't done their time or spent their time in the gym. I'll tell you something, they've done it, buddy.
I don't think I could do that, man. I'd be winded in just a few seconds.
I wish I think I've done some of it, but that's why I'm in the shape I am now.
Nate Jolly is taking a little powder break on the outside of the ring now, reassessing whether or not he should have come out here. And, oh, no! Chandler Hopkins, and look at that, man. Little kick to the face there. We thought he was going to be coming down on top, and he just gets a big old mouthful of ring.
He went to the well one too many times, but he gave away what he's going to do, and that's what it cost him.
Yeah, and that's probably a thing that, young guy, he wants to get that move in there. He wants to go for that big move, but uh-oh, wait a minute.
See what I'm saying? You telegraph their moves, they let the guy see, he sees what's coming, and always they got time to counter it. They have time to counter it.
Big suplex into the ring, roll him up for a count of 2. It was darn close to 3.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully one of our close-up cameras caught that.
They wrestle until they see they can't pin the guy, then they start just beating the hell out of him. That's what happens.
That's what it looks like now, resorting to using that corner, that turnbuckle to his advantage. And definitely not legal methods that Nate Jolly's going for in the corner with using that turnbuckle on Chandler Hopkins here tonight. From Amarillo, Texas, came in here with the cowboy hat representing Amarillo.
And the talk on him, all I hear is he's an upcoming star and he's got what it takes. And by the looks of him, he does. I mean, just because he's down right now, you can't say he's going to stay that way.
Well, let's talk about something we heard a little bit earlier tonight before the cameras were rolling. Our Director of Wrestling Operations, Greg the Hammer Valentine, a Hall of Famer, said if he sees people out here doing something he doesn't like, he's willing to come out here and just drag them out of the ring himself.
Well, I'll tell you something. I've wrestled Greg the Hammer, and I've never been hit so hard in my life, okay? Well, every time I look on the marquee and see my name next to his, I start to tremble a little bit because he can hammer you. That's why they call him that. And believe me, he'll do what he said.
He comes by that name honest, and he is, I couldn't think of any better to be our Director of Wrestling Operations, as we just, I think, maybe just saw Chandler lose a tooth.
It looked like it.
That was a vicious kick, and Nate Jolly taking advantage of the fact that he is definitely having the upper hand here, rolling him up 1, 2, and not quite 3.
No, he's hanging in there, buddy. He's got what it takes to hang on.
What do you think of this crowd here tonight in Canton, Texas?
Oh man, I'm proud to see these people out here representing this wrestling show, and also, they're backing with their tickets they buy. They're backing that hunt for the cure, those kids, and I think that's a beautiful thing, a great thing, and I'm proud these folks showed up.
It is a great thing, and Nate Jolly now with the knuckles there. Ooh, and I heard that one. Big back elbow, and just like a limp noodle is Chandler.
I wouldn't count him out yet. Sometimes they play a little possum just to set you up.
Okay. You've been in the ring. You've definitely had the battles. You've had the wars. I did a little research on you before tonight, looking into my color commentator here tonight, and saw you in a match with Bruiser Brody. Wow, what an awesome match.
That's another guy, when you see your name next to his on the marquee, you really tremble. Okay? I've never been kicked so hard in my life as I have by Bruiser Brody. He was something else. Believe me, that's why they called him the Bruiser.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
That was something to get through there.
What do you call that? I mean, you know all the holds, but that just almost got a 3 count. It was almost like he came down and fell on his back right in the small of Chandler Hopkins' back.
With all his body weight. I call that trying to put the guy to wrestling. That's the hold I call it. And all the moves.
That will rearrange your spine.
Yes, sir.
The crowd here in Canton, Texas, trying to get behind Chandler Hopkins if he could only get his body to agree.
Yeah, he needs to get it together here pretty quick, because it looks like he's about wearing him down to the point where there's going to be a pin here.
We talk about competition here in Southwest Wrestling Entertainment, and one thing you will hear throughout the night is wait a minute. It looks like Chandler Hopkins making a quick turnaround and a couple of quick kicks there. Turn things. Oh,
what a punch. These guys are going toe-to-toe, ain't they?
I completely lost my train of thought after that punch. Chandler Hopkins going to the... Oh, looky there. And now here we go. Suplex. It's a suplex. He rolls him over. And one more. Nope. Oh, into a slam.
This could be it. Oh, he got out of that. It's unbelievable there.
Yeah, so close.
That was 2 3/4 count right there.
That's about as close as you can get without it being 3.
Sir.
You see Nate Jolly with a little bit of well, I thought he was winded. Maybe he was faking us out a little bit there as he goes back to take Chandler Hopkins up. And another attempt at a kick. But now Nate goes behind Chandler Hopkins with that fireman's carry. He's got him up. Nope. Saving the referee. Look at that. There's and just that one little moment where he wanted to spare the referee cost him.
I'm telling you, the guy he's wrestling has one hell of a punch, don't he?
Yes, absolutely. And that would be Nate Jolly going back to the well again. Chandler Hopkins up and lifts it in. He's going to turn things around in his favor now.
You're right. I've heard Nate Jolly's got a little more experience than Chandler.
Yeah.
So, but you know something, he's still giving him some competition out there. He ain't stopping.
Chandler is going up now to the top rope. Do you advise this? I mean, this is, oh, no, look at that.
Oh, what a move.
1, 2, 3.
That's it, it's over.
And Chandler Hopkins puts away Nate Jolly.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's your winner, the young gun, Chandler Hopkins.
They won't forget that match because he's going home feeling that one.
The first match in the books for Southwest Wrestling Entertainment's Go for the Gold. More wrestling action right after this. We're back with more action. Up next, a man who let it be known a few weeks back at a special event at RPM Speedway. He was not happy with his place on this card tonight. Brent McKenzie.
Rodney, Mack, Tim Storm. They're in the main event title match, right? Why am I not in the main event title match?
Brent McKenzie was not happy about not being on the card, but he has definitely turned that around, and he is definitely on the card. He was on the poster, and he's going to the ring tonight.
His opponent, from Deep Ellum, Texas, Saintway, Danny Saint.
Brent McKenzie just not waiting for that bell.
That's one thing about it, buddy. He don't care about the rules, as you can tell. He's here to win tonight.
You have mentioned earlier you heard he has the hardest punch in Texas.
I've heard he has the hardest punch in Texas. He has knocked out many a man.
Well, they're out on the concrete floor right now, and I do hope for the sake of the fans they get this in the ring right now, because it is a dangerous situation anytime you're outside of the ring, as you would know.
Tell you something, this kid Danny Saint, he's better come out from under this pretty quick, because big man ain't letting up. He's here to get it done quick tonight, looks like.
Well, you know, Deep Ellum, Texas, you know, downtown Dallas area, not exactly, I don't know, I guess a place where you would go to prepare a career in wrestling. I don't know. Have you spent much time in Deep Ellum?
I have not. Matter of fact, I haven't done that. And I never have heard about any wrestling schools there myself.
Yeah, I don't think so. Not too far away from there was where the Von Erichs used to train. Remember that old wrestling gym down there, Doug's Gym?
Oh, yeah.
I did a little, in fact, I went down there and trained with Skandar Akbar one time, and they worked me so hard I ran off and threw up.
My goodness. I've been there right where you were at before. But Skandar Akbar, he's my manager at one time, and I'll tell you something, he worked me to death then too.
I know it. It was a rough thing, but old Doug's Gym down there, not too far from Deep Ellum, downtown Dallas, as Brent McKenzie is just taking it to Danny Saint.
Yeah, it's been a one-sided match from this point on. We'll see what Danny Saint can do, right?
And you know, I look at guys as they come into the ring, you get the close-ups of them, you know, you get to see their massive torsos, their foreheads, and this guy, I mean, just coming at you would want to clear the way. You see his face and you just want to move aside and say, he can have the sidewalk.
You're exactly right. I'm telling you, he's the type of guy who has no fear at all. You can tell when you meet him. And he's definitely cut out to be in the squared circle, okay? Because he's going to find matches along the way. This kid might not be, but you never know. Don't count him out yet, okay? He didn't get in wrestling just because it was an accident, okay? So he's got something in him.
I mean, there's a reason he's at this event. There's a reason he's at Go for the Gold. I just hope that it isn't to have his career ended by Brent McKenzie.
I've had this happen to me before. Right at the start of a match, I take some kind of injury or I get hurt, and I took a whooping from then on out the rest of the match.
What is it that pulls you through, though? What is it that takes you from at this stage where it seems like all hope is lost? Where do you get the energy when you know when you come back he's still going to be there?
You know where it's at, buddy? You got to get deep down inside. Deep down inside and do everything you can. If you're made to be in this business, you are. If you're not, you're not.
Well, let's do hope for the sake of Danny Saint that he was made to be in this business, because right now he's being made.
I'm telling you. Yeah, it's looking like Big Boy might just put him out of his misery here. I don't know.
Uh-oh, we have a little knee action there.
See, he didn't even have the whole kick there.
No.
This kid's been hurting through this match all the way.
Yeah. And now it's a reversal from Brett McKenzie into the corner post.
He got on him there. He got locked up. He needs to take advantage right now.
Got a few good forearms as he backs him into the ropes. And a reversal. Danny Saint off the ropes, ducks the clothesline. Brett McKenzie, they crash in midair. And when you have two guys coming at each other with a flying crossbody and one of them outweighs the other one by nearly double, that is exactly the outcome.
I'm telling you, I would have hated to be on the other end of that. That looked like that really hurt.
I mean, that's like flying through the air and colliding with a 747.
You got that right, no kidding.
Oh, and that massive forehead.
And he just adds to the damage, right? Hey, look, see how he's doing it across the face? Armbar across the face.
Yep.
Now really trying to humiliate him and take advantage here.
He's trying to rub it in is what he's doing.
Yes, sir.
And now just playing with Danny Saint.
And I've been in these type matches myself, and I was on the end that Danny Saint's in, and these are ones that you never forget.
Yeah, look at that.
These are the ones you never forget.
These are the ones that make you wake up sore in the morning years later, right?
I'm telling you. You wonder, why do I even own wrestling gear?
What? Now, I don't understand what he's doing. He's just trying to make you many runs.
There was a punch I'm talking about right there.
That's it. That's that punch you mentioned. He got up.
He
was
caught him
angry.
right, tagged him right on the...
Yeah.
Right
Danny
on the
Saint
button.
just, he let his...
Done.
He let his anger get the best of him.
Yes,
He
he did.
could have done something with that, but instead he turns around.
And the winner of this bout by pinfall, the Super Tex, McKenzie!
He turns around and shoves him in the back and did nothing but made him mad, and that punch you talk about just took out Danny Saint.
Well, the kid needs to go back to that gym you're talking about and get some extra work in and come back and give it another try. Don't let up yet. That's what makes you learn a lesson in those type matches.
And it's Brett McKenzie coming out on top in this one. He just basically toyed with Danny Saint, and you know, Danny, that wasn't even really attempting a comeback. He just wanted to. Now he just got angry. Now look, he made him mad, and he's gone. He's out. Tossed him out like yesterday's card.
I am the future of this company. I mow through Danny Saint, and I will mow through each and every member of this roster until I get what I want, and that's a shot at the heavyweight championship.
Well, Brett McKenzie mopping up the floor with Danny Saint and voicing very loudly his disapproval of the way things are going so far at SWE, and here he's getting in Rod Moore's face now.
You let everybody in this company, in the company's management, that people that book the matches, I want the SWE championship.
Wow, we'll be back with more wrestling action. Welcome back for more SWE action as the tag team of Hardicus and Jacobs in the ring now, ready to take on two legends who have agreed to team up tonight for this special event. The Texas legend, Action Jackson, and WWE Hall of Famer Bushwacker Luke, here for a Texas Tornado match, meaning all four men will be in the ring at one time.
And introducing their opponents, first, he is the Texas
speak to Bushwacker Luke and Action Jackson earlier tonight about this here Texas Tornado match.
Southwest Wrestling Entertainment, Bob Malden here with Action Jackson, and you have a tag team partner.
Oh, yeah, here you go. There you go. Baby. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Tonight, we gonna destroy these boys tonight, baby. Texas Tornado fight, baby. You like that, Luke, baby? Texas Tornado right down my alley, mate. Boy, we're gonna do a little bushwhacker licking, and then we're gonna give them a good down under ass kicking. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, whoa, baby, yeah.
It's happening tonight here at Go for the Gold.
No, don't let go of him yet, baby. Don't let go of him yet, baby. It's gonna be all right, baby. It's gonna be all right. He with us, baby. He with us.
I will tell you, Lieutenant, I never thought I would be in the same arena with the Bushwacker himself. Bushwacker Luke here with Action Jackson. What a team. Little is known about Hardeckus and Jacobs, but they are tonight facing off against the Texas legend Action Jackson and, of course, the WWE Hall of Famer Bushwacker Luke, and both men in the ring against each other. All four guys squaring off in the corner right now.
You know, something that shocks me is I was a mask wrestler, as everybody knows, and you got one guy wearing a mask and the other guy not. So I don't understand that, but
I don't either, but they do match somewhat.
I thought they were a constant team like the grapplers when I was a grappler.
Yes.
I don't know, maybe that's the deal, but I tell you, this Action Jackson, I knew him when he first started.
Really?
Okay, yes, sir. I know him a long, long time, and that boy right there is double tough. I promise you that.
Yes, he is. He's been, I've seen him all over Texas, and of course, everyone in this crowd remembers Bushwacker Luke from TV and late 80s, early 90s. I mean, what a load of fun it was to watch those guys on TV coming out to the ring. And earlier tonight, a big interview, I got licked upside the face here.
Hey, did you?
Yeah.
You know what? That don't surprise me. Those guys are crazy. Him and his partner, Luke, was great. Great person. Have you laughing all the time. But don't get him mad in that ring, brother, because he can back himself up.
It looks like it, and it doesn't seem like he is missing a step in the ring right now as he pounds away. And little is known about this great tag team, but they're in here. They're working against. They're wrestling against two legends: the Texas legend Action Jackson, and of course a Hall of Famer in Bushwacker Luke.
That's right. They're holding their own as well.
At what point now? This is what we call a Texas Tornado match, and let me explain to you. Is that a claw of some sort on the head of Bushwacker
That's
Luke?
what it
there?
looks like, yeah.
And a Texas Tornado match means that all four competitors are in the ring the entire time, and I guess a pinfall can happen when either one of them.
Well, you know, I've been in some Texas Tornado matches in my life, and what happens is you never know where you're going to get hit from.
Right.
From behind, in the front, somebody's going to drop kick you from behind or take your knees out. That's why these are real dangerous matches, because all four people in the ring at the same time, guys that size, that weight, I'm telling you, you get hurt quick.
That's right, and you never know, because, you know, they're working now. We have Action Jackson outside the ring and right into the corner post there, which, you know, you hear the word steel thrown around in wrestling a lot. Those posts are steel, folks.
I'm telling you, a lot of people think, oh, there's nothing, there's padding on there. There's no padding. And I promise you, I asked the guy that asked me for an autograph, and he folded a metal chair up. And he said, can you hit me in the head with it? Ask him if there's any padding on that metal chair.
Oh, no.
No, just like that ring post out there. Believe me, it dinged him.
It did. It's going to leave a bruise, I'll tell you.
You know, I know right now, Luke, he's a Hall of Famer, like you said. Right now, going through his mind, he's trying to figure out how he's going to counter this, how he's going to set him up and try to get the win.
All right, well, it looks like Action Jackson taking a shortcut with a finger to the eyeballs. Elbow drop to Bushwacker Luke now, and Action Jackson going for the body slam and gets it.
Action Jackson, he's hanging in there, buddy. It's all him right now.
Yep. Luke is doing his best to get back up. Now, this guy, he's been wrestling for decades. And so since I remember seeing him when I was a kid, how long has he been actually wrestling in the ring?
It's amazing. Isn't it amazing? The thing is about him, he gets knocked down, but like they always say, Bob, it ain't how many times you get knocked down, it's how many times you get up. And he keeps getting back up for it, right? You know? So you got to give him credit there.
Hardicus and Jacobs now with the upper hand on Bushwacker Luke.
So who's that manager they have out there? You know this fella? I don't know, but he sure got a nice sports coat on, doesn't he?
He does, yeah. He must not shop at the Goodwill, I'll tell you that.
I hear you.
Or maybe that's where he found it. I don't know. 1, 2, and not quite 3. Bushwacker Luke gingerly kicking out at the last moment there on that count of 2. I just don't, I know these guys are legends, but at what point do you say, guys, it's probably not best for you to be laying in the middle of the ring being choked out like he is right now?
Well, it's like me. If there wasn't so many injuries, believe me, I'd be putting my name in the hat.
It's something in your blood, right?
Yes, it is, sir.
It just
Can't
gets
get it
in
out.
there. Action Jackson, he
5
repeatedly...
minutes have passed. 5 minutes have passed.
Repeatedly being punched, and then he just turns it around. And that's one of those guys, he's just one of those guys that whenever he gets fired up, you can hit him with anything you've got.
Yeah, he was trained by the guy Buzz Sawyer, and Buzz Sawyer was a fellow brother that can hurt you real quick, and he survived that, so I respect him totally. He is a legend.
Yeah, absolutely. This guy ran up and down the road with the likes of Iceman King Parsons.
Yes, he did. King Parsons had one of the hardest chops in the wrestling business. Believe me, he chopped me so hard, he'd bust a hide on my chest and be bleeding.
Really?
He was, yes, sir, and that's the truth. He's tough.
Bushwacker Luke rallying after a little help from Action Jackson there. Bushwacker Luke shaking those ropes, getting the crowd behind him, and a chop. He goes now, and Action Jackson has him in the corner and off the ropes, and a big clothesline by Bushwacker Luke. Not enough to take him down. Here he goes again. Second clothesline successful. And he's waiting. He's ready to get him up. And into the corner now. This cannot end well for Hardicus and Jacobs. Action Jackson slinging him out of the corner and right onto his partner over there. Bushwacker Luke set him up perfectly for Action Jackson. Big clothesline by the Texas legend. And a rake of the eyes turns things around on Bushwacker Luke over there. Headlock on Action Jackson now. Hardicus and Jacobs back in control. Oh no! Oh! Reversal.
See, the one thing is they can't stall or take time around these two old timers, because one way or the other they'll get them.
Did you just see that? It's like, well, I guess you would call it a 1, 2, 3 with a little help.
That's one heck of a tag team finish right there. I like that tag team finish.
Ladies and gentlemen, here are your winners. The team of the Texas legend Action Jackson and WWE Hall of Famer Bushwacker Luke.
Let's do it, Lynn. Let's do it.
Sir.
Come on, yeah. A Bushwacker train going around the ring right now. Look, the kids are lining up.
Fantastic. They're lining them all up now.
We're going to have a dressing room full of kids if they follow Bushwacker Luke back to the back.
Look
at this.
I love it.
This is what it's all about, though, Lynn.
That's what they come here for, to get involved. They love it. He loves the kids. They paid their money to have fun, and that's what they're doing.
What a great thing to see here is Bushwacker Luke and a line clear around the ring of kids. What a cool guy.
From Dallas, Texas, by the way of Okinawa, Japan, the major key of excellence, Mexico, Son!
Welcome back to Go for the Gold, Southwest Wrestling Entertainment. I'm Bob Malden along with Len Denton. It's a special women's division match.
From Bad Street, Atlanta, TA. She is second generation superstar, the Backstreet Beauty, Miranda Gordy.
Ladies, single action tonight. Miranda Gordy, Machiko.
Our official for this match tonight is Alex Morosas.
And I am very excited to see Miranda Gordy in action here, second generation star, and this is her debut match for Southwest Wrestling Entertainment.
You know something, I wrestled her daddy, and God bless him. I love her with all my heart. We were good friends. We fought against each other. We partied together. We ran up and down the highway all over different Japan, in Europe, here, Canada, all over the U.S., you name it. I loved him. He's a good friend of mine, and this is his daughter's debut. I hope she does a good job, and I'm sure she will. And I know he's proud of her.
You know, Miranda Gordy, of course, got a chance to see her dad in action and live the life of a wrestling second-generation child, but just now entering the profession. So what do you think was the delay? I mean, what made her wait so long to get into action here?
I don't know. It could have been something, you know, where trying to get through all that and the sad part of life, and the dad's gone. I don't know the whole situation with their life, but there's something in her. Just had to say, come out and let's go. And Terry would have been so proud, believe me.
I guarantee it. As we see a snap mare, she takes over Machiko-san now, and that headlock is cinched in, and definitely out here to win this match in her debut here with Southwest Wrestling Entertainment.
I can tell you right now, she's already taught me in my debut. I lasted about 10 seconds and was pinned already. At least she's hanging in there, right?
Well, you talk about holds. Look at this. She's now fallen victim to what was a toe hold there. She pushes her way out of it, avoids a kick, and here she comes with a clothesline. No, and the hair gets her down. I don't think she saw that coming.
And now she's finding out right now what the world's all about in pro wrestling.
You know, Grappler, I know that there are folks out there who kind of take those shortcuts. I dare I say, cheat to win. Maybe go for the hair a little more than they should. And again, basically like she was reading my mind, right as I said it. Took
exactly
Miranda Gordy down by the hair and a big snap suplex.
Well, there's one thing, though. You can't sell the other girl short, okay? I know we're all pushing for Miranda, but the other girl is doing a heck of a job, and she's tough. She's paid her dues, or she wouldn't be here going for the goal, right?
Oh, yeah. Machiko-san has been all over the world. And you heard the ring introduction by way of Japan.
Yeah.
There is a different style of fighting when you go to Japan. Have you ever battled in Japan?
I've been over there 3 times, my friend, and the only thing I liked about it was when I left.
Oh,
getting those crisp $100 bills.
Yeah.
Go in there, it's a fight for your life. I'm telling you, every time you go there, they test you. But, you know, she's in this match with her. It's her first match, and she's not doing too bad. And like I said, my first match, I lasted about 10 or 15 seconds, and it was done. But, see, she's got to know that every time she's going to get a star like the one she's wrestling tonight until she gets to that level. At least she's tough enough to hang in there.
That's right. Miranda Gordy is hanging in there for sure against Machiko-san, someone we know who has had some battles and had some wars overseas in Japan, and now she's got Miranda and a big chop. Miranda Gordy's in the corner.
And she's talking smack to her now, isn't she?
Yeah, that just made her mad.
Yes, it did.
She goes for the punch. Block. Clothesline. Back elbow. And down. Oh, no. A little too much momentum there. Big kick. Machiko-san is down. Miranda Gordy waiting for her as she gets up. Irish whip. And what do we have? Sidewalk slam. She go for the pin here. Might have waited too long. 1, 2. And no. Easily kicking out at the count of 2 is Machiko-san.
I have to say they're going at it. It's a good match.
Very good match. We are seeing some good wrestling action here. That knee straight to the back.
That could be it right there. Nope, she kicked out. All right.
She's out. I think it's going to take much more than that for Miranda Gordy to call it quits. She is, after all, from Bad Street, USA. You know?
That's true.
Going for the body slam. No, she's got her up on her shoulder now. What is that? Oh, look at that slam. 1, 2.
She won it. She won her first
It was
match.
so close. It was a count of 3, but Machiko-san says, no, my shoulder was up.
And the winner of this Southview pinfall, the Bad Street Beauty, Miranda Gordy!
Terry Gordy would be so proud of her. He'd be proud of her, brother.
In her first match here with Southwest Wrestling Entertainment, the Bad Street Beauty, Miranda Gordy, is victorious.
Fantastic. I love it.
Let's take another look at that count to see if referee Alex Morazes made the right call here. This is a big deal, highly important. Let's look at it again. There's 1 and 2, and watch this. 3 comes down. The hand hits the mat just a split second before the shoulder comes up. Let's watch it again. 1, and here comes 2, and right before the shoulder comes up, 3. Good call from referee Alex Morazes on this one. You know, Lynn, referees get a lot of flack about making mistakes in the ring, but that was without a doubt a 3 count with the shoulder down the entire time. Kudos to Alex Morazes for making the right call, and to Machiko-san, better luck next time, and congratulations to Miranda Gordy on her successful debut in SWE. Welcome back to SWE's Go for the Gold. It's time for our main event as former NWA World Champion Tim Storm gets ready to battle Red Dog Rodney Mack. Let's see what Tim Storm had to say about this match earlier this evening.
What a lot of people don't understand is that Rodney and I grew up about 100 miles apart. I grew up in Arkansas, he grew up in Louisiana, and we grew up in a different time. Most people don't know. We both played college football in the same conference, not against each other, but at the same schools, different schools. I was at Ouachita, he was at a different school. But we grew up in a time where being competitive meant something different. We grew up in a time where it was the norm that 2-a-days was not optional. You did or you were gone. It was normal for us to grab a handful of salt tablets on the way out to the field. It was normal for us to have a coach grab you by the face mask and scream in your face. There were no participation trophies. There was no pat on the back. It wasn't like, good job, kid, if you either made the team or you didn't. So tonight, that's what we're looking at. Rodney Mack is a man. Tim Storm is a man. And when we get in the ring, it's not ballet, it's not a dance. It's 2 men looking across the ring for each other, and we're going to see what the other one's made of. You don't even ask me if I'm ready. I know I'm ready, and don't ask me if Rodney's ready because I know that he's ready. We've done this before. Tonight, it's 2 men who are going to do everything they can to beat the ever-loving snot out of each other. And when it's done, there's no participation trophy. When it's done, you get 1 man who is the first time ever heavyweight champion of SWE. 1 time. Don't ask me if we're ready. Now it comes down to 2 grown men fighting for something that means something, for something that's important. We're both ready. It's time to just go out there and do it.
Introducing first from Pine Bluff, Arkansas, he is the former NWA World Heavyweight Champion. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Tim the Perfect Storm!
And of course, Rodney Mack earlier this evening, very few things to say about this match tonight with Tim Storm.
I let my work speak for itself. I let my history speak for itself. Tim Storm, tonight, prepare for war.
gentlemen, introducing his opponent from Death Valley. He is a former WWE superstar. Ladies and gentlemen, the Red Dog, Rodney Mack! Ladies and gentlemen, the official of this match, SWE Senior Official, Mr. James Beard.
James Beard has his hands full tonight in this main event here with Southwest Wrestling Entertainment. At the end of this match, there will be a new Southwest Wrestling Entertainment champion.
You know something? You know, Bob, this is where it all comes down. This is where it all stops, the buck right here. Now, you know, look at these two fellas out here. You can tell they've been in the gym. Okay, they spent months and weeks and months and years perfecting their holds and their moves to get where they're at today. And this here, what tells the truth. Everybody wants to go. The man walking out there is going to be the champion.
That's exactly right. As these two potential champions circle the ring and get ready to lock up, we've got a lot to tell you about these two guys as they tie up in the middle of the ring here, and the struggle takes it to the corner. Call him Red Dog, call him Rodney Mack, call him what you want. The guy has been there, he's done that, and he's still traveling up and down the roads, and he's got a taste for gold here at the Gold for the Gold Wrestling Spectacular in Canton, Texas tonight.
But he's facing a fella that's a former world heavyweight champion, okay, that's done it all himself. And so we're going to see one heck of a contest.
Let's talk a little bit about this. You're a former champion yourself. Let's talk about the fact that an NWA world champion is not the champion of a single promotion or a single wrestling company. A world champion with the National Wrestling Alliance is a champion for the world, truly. Tell me how that works.
So what you have to do is, like, that means you got to be prepared for anybody that comes along. Rodney Mack, the grappler, any of these guys in the back, anybody around the country. You know, you got to be prepared and ready to go. So keeping yourself that fit and traveling and staying in shape and doing what they do is really, really something to buy out, because it takes a heck of a man.
And Tim Storm has battled all around the country, but don't take anything away from Rodney Mack. This guy has done it as well and reached what some would say the pinnacle. Went to New York, was in the big 3 W's there. You know, he's been there and done that as far as what a lot of wrestlers aspire to as their big career goal. But it seems that Rodney Mack is content to hit the road and go around the country and face the likes of Tim Storm, and to come in here and possibly walk out of this building tonight as the brand new SWE champion.
Well, you see, why they're here is because they've had a taste of that gold before. Both guys, right? So it's one thing to win a championship belt. I know myself. It's another to hold on to it. Tonight, they're going for it because they want it one more time.
Whoever leaves here with that belt tonight is going to have a big mark on their back as Tim Storm crashes into that steel corner post right now, and Rodney Mack does not back off. You know, I saw him early on when he was going by Red Dog, and of course I had a chance to see him form his new tag team, Perfect Enemy. They travel around all over the South now.
Well, I'll tell you one thing about Rodney Mack. No matter what you say or who he was or what name he used, that gentleman right there is double tough. And I tell you something, he can take on anybody. He can be in the 3 W's, he can be here, anywhere he goes, you got to look out for this fella. You better be tough to step in the ring with him.
You are exactly right. Tim Storm, though, you know, you look at him and you see a champion. You see somebody who not only won that belt, who went out there and wrestled those shows, but when he wore that belt, he was a champion for the people.
I hear you. And these guys, man, I look at these guys like this, and I compare with when I was in my prime as a wrestler in my heyday, like they are. And you know something? It'd have been some tough matches. I don't know if I'd be happy to step in the ring. It'd be kind of like the time I was telling you, my name's on the marquee next to Greg the Hammer Valentine.
Yes.
I'd be like, oh, not Tim Storm tonight. Oh my God, not the Red Dog tonight.
Yeah, definitely some competition at the pinnacle of our night tonight. Our main event here, gold is on the line. We don't call this event Go for the Gold for nothing.
That's true. And these guys are going for it, and believe me, they'll exhaust every ounce of energy or whatever they got to get there, whatever it takes.
Rodney Mack is working over that shoulder of Tim Storm now and not going for a pin. Beard is watching for it, but Rodney Mack is perfectly content just to do damage.
Well, when you're out there, you know, as long as these guys have been doing this, they know you can feel. You got to feel for it, because I knew myself that I haven't got this guy where I need him right now. Okay, so you don't go for the pin too early, because you can waste some moves that you wish he didn't know was coming before.
Rodney back, right back in on that key lock there, working on the arm, the upper arm and shoulder of Tim Storm. Now, talk about isolating a certain body part. We see that a lot, especially with these guys who've been doing it for a long time, who are more methodical and meticulous about the way they attack a certain body part. What's the method behind it?
Well, the thing is, the idea behind it is, okay, you wear that body part down. So if you're in a fight and the guy kicks you in the leg, okay, and then he kicks you in the head, then he kicks you in the shoulder, things are going to hurt, but you keep coming. If he stays on that arm, and he stays on that arm and he wears it down, he runs it around the post, he hits it with a chair, he stomps it, he drops knees, and he keeps going back, eventually you can't take it no more, and the match is over.
Well, Tim Storm decided he's not going to take it anymore, and he's firing up on Rodney Mack now, has him in the corner, and looks like,
There's that chop I was talking about.
They heard that chop all the way in Wills Point, Texas.
You got that right, sir.
And back to the shoulder goes Rodney Mack with his head this time, and now his shoulder. Pulling that shoulder and cinching it up now.
Yeah, he's staying on that arm, isn't he?
That is a very vulnerable part, too. I mean, you look at the way that shoulder socket is constructed. You got that ball joint in there pretty much.
Well, you know, Bob, if your arm's hurt, it's really hard to suplex people.
It
is. Pick them up and slam them.
Body slam, suplex, pretty much all gone,
so
right?
You can cut all that out of the repertoire. It will help you out.
Right. And what can you do with your legs now? That's what Tim Storm has to be thinking.
It's a headbutt or use one arm.
James Beard, what I like about this referee is that he will get in there, and if a competitor is not listening, he will physically break it up.
Hey, I'll tell you something. James Beard has refereed some of my matches.
Yes, sir.
And that man will get you straight real quick out there, okay?
Yeah.
Or you'll be getting fined and fined and fined.
Yep. Hey, man, maybe those fines will come in handy. This is a new wrestling company, you know.
That's true. this you know, don't get Greg Valentine mad at you.
I know.
Maybe you can avoid those fines.
A fine for you, and a fine for you, and a hammer for you.
Exactly.
As Rodney Mack back working on that left shoulder of Tim Storm now. And this is not only something that could have Tim Storm leaving here tonight sore and in pain, but it's something that could last for a while. It's something that, you know, if you don't watch it, you could end up needing surgery on something like that.
See, you can tell this is a championship match because they've went into, he's staying on top of that arm. He's not listening to the crowd like some of these guys do, and I got to shine, I got to drop kick, I got to fly all around. He's doing his game plan, and he's staying with it.
Right. It's there's a lot of guys that will listen to the crowd and want to pose for the crowd, and that is not what Rodney Mack is here to do tonight. He has his heart, his mind, and his body set on leaving with that gold around his waist. But right now, all he gets is that. Good grief.
Ooh, a good move there. It's a reverse neck breaker, buddy.
Little kick to the back of the head and the neck breaker, and now these guys are both needing a little time to recover. James Beard counting. Somebody's got to get up. I do not want to see a double disqualification here.
I'm not sure what the time limit is in this match, but you know something? We knowing these two guys, we could go the time limit. Neither one of them are going to give up real easily.
With every punch, with every chop, clouds of sweat.
I'm telling you.
Spit. It is a fight. Someone here tonight is going home with that gold around their waists. Off the ropes. Here we go. Big clothesline by Tim Storm. Running back.
He's got it going his way now.
Back elbow and off the ropes again goes Rodney Mack. And a big boot sends Rodney Mack crashing.
Storm's still hurting. That arm's still hurting him, you can tell.
He is. Look out behind you. Rodney Mack is up. Oh, and a spear. That shoulder tackle. And
you see how he fell like that through the ropes and out? You can tell he didn't fall. He fell like just a different way, and it might have hurt that shoulder even worse.
On top of that, falling out to the floor, not a good thing at the moment. As we see Tim Storm now on the floor. Referee James Beard counting. Rodney Mack is now coming out after him. That's going to break the count. And these men are now fighting on the cement floor in Canton, Texas, among some of Canton's citizens out here. And now Rodney Mack shoving Tim Storm back in the ring. He wants this to end in the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, 10 minutes have gone by in this match.
I'll tell you one thing I found is when you get outside on that floor, for something about guys, they get closer to those people, and the punches are harder, the kicks are harder. I don't know. It's amazing. They're hard enough in the ring without getting more adrenaline involved in it, you know?
Absolutely. Rodney Mack bounces off the ropes, comes back, and where he gets money. Tim Storm catches him. And that's a count of three.
That was close. That was close. Oh, the ring is three.
It's three.
He got him all right.
Look at that. He turned
that match
it around.
is over.
Into a
Ladies and gentlemen, here is your winner, and new SWE Heavyweight Champion, Tim the Perfect Storm!
It was just a last-minute change of pace, and Tim Storm leads here tonight with the title, the new SWE champion.
Like you said, he's got a target on his back. He better be ready because everybody's gunning for him.
That's exactly right. Southwest Wrestling Entertainment, the SWE, Rodney Mack, defeated by Tim Storm tonight.
And Tim Storm's your new heavyweight champion, SWE champion, and I'm sure he could not be prouder, my friend.
It's like you said, Grappler, Tim Storm has a big old mark on his back right now. Every wrestler going to be coming from miles around to Southwest Wrestling Entertainment for that belt right there.
That's right. Get ready, Tim Storm, for the contracts and the phone calls are coming.
That's
brother,
right.
They're after you.
All right, folks. More great wrestling action back here next week. Southwest Wrestling Entertainment, the SWE. For the Grappler, Lynn Denton, I'm Bob Malden. We'll see you next week right here.
Take care.
First ever SWE heavyweight champion, Tim Storm. That goes in the record books. You can't ever take it out. Not that you want to.